Okay, we're looking at creating linear equations from 2 points. So here's our word problem, which we'll read through, gather the important information, and then um, essentially create our equation. So the new owner of J&J Appliance Repair are deciding how to charge customers for service calls. They feel that $110 is a fair price for 3-hour service. And that essentially is kind of our first coordinate here. So we'll kind of highlight it, $110 for 3 hours of service. And then $160 is fair for a 5-hour service call. If they stay consistent with these two prices, which of the following linear functions could they use to calculate the charge C in dollars for the H-hour service call? So, if we were to kind of plot something like this, we're looking like hours, which is time, is usually always independent. So our time in hours, so they've called it H, it's on the x-axis, and our dollar amount is on the y-axis. And the first coordinate is they spend about 3 hours, and it costs $110. And then they have another coordinate, we're just estimating here. We'll say this is 6. Not 6, at 5 hours, and at 5 hours it costs $160. So with that being said, we essentially have two coordinates, and we want to build the equation y equals mx plus b, but in our case the y value is the cost, so that's our C or our money, and the x value is the time, so that we call that our h in hours. Okay, we'll still use y equals mx plus b, and we'll just substitute C in for y and h in for x at the very end. So we have two coordinates here. Coordinate 1 is at 3 and 110, and coordinate 2 is at 5 and 160. So with that being said, we need to calculate our m and our b in this case. So m is your slope. M is equal to the slope, which is also rise over run, which can also be written as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So our two coordinates here we need to have a label. We'll call this coordinate 1 and this coordinate 2. So this becomes x1, y1, x2, y2. So we now take that information and plug it in. We have y2, which is 160, subtract y1, which is 110, divided by x2, which is 5, subtract x1, which is 3. So as we go down here, we're going to end up with 50 over 2 is equal to 25. Okay, so we now know our slope is 25. So we have our equation now kind of fitted into this small space here. We have our y equals, in this case, our m is 25, x plus b. We need to find out what our b is. In order to do that, we can plug in the coordinates for either of these variables for the x and the y in this equation. For simplicity's sake, I'll just take coordinate 1. So we'll replace x with the number 3, and we'll replace y with the number 110, and then we'll isolate for b. So we're going to get 110 is equal to 25 times 3 plus b, and now we isolate for b. So we'll have 110 is equal to 75 plus b. 110 subtract 75 when we move it to the other side is equal to b, and that will give us 35. So our b value is 35. So our equation, we'll write over on this side, and we're jumping around, y equals 25x plus 35. And remember, we said we were replacing y with the variable c for cost, and we're replacing x with the variable h for time. So our equation should read c is equal to 25h plus 35. And if we take a look here, that looks like that would be this equation right here. So that would be our answer to this question.